to One Word a Day. I'm Sophie, your pilot into the universe of Chinese. Let's continue with the wrapping of this week's characters. So this is another week of boxy characters. We have the frame, which by itself called wei, but as a Chinese, I never see it used on its own. It's always kind of provide the frame. You may say exactly that as the frame of some other things play in the middle. And that's the meaning making process. Provide the frame to almost like is it called a lens? Provide the viewfinder for the world. Okay, let's say that. Twin, this one, the middle sounds twin. The whole thing sounds twin as well. The middle twin is about this young plant going above the ground level from below. And so we have this zigzagging of the root of the plant, trying to find the pathway underground to break through the ground. I imagine that would be a hard kind of a struggle for the young plant, but eventually make a tip showing it. And this is a similar character, proxy. It was not included in the 2,000 years ago, the first edition of a Chinese dictionary, but it's similar enough to show the middle part of it. And the reason why it's end up being hoard, because this plant have to focus always strength and intention, right? Into one point, one focal point until it breaks through. And this focus transferred into like a focused attention to keep gathering stuff within that frame. And that frame provides the, I guess, exactly the storage. That's what we see nearby freeways these days, the storage location to focus on some stuff, I guess. So the similarity of the contemporary Chinese rendering to the ancient version, well, you can see some similarities, right? But some things got lost, like this twist and turn of the young plant's root. That's hard to draw. Eventually, people just place a hook at the very end of this L shape to give it a sense of it's not a straight line. It has to go through some twists and turns to finally find its way through. So that's twin. Then we have a nun. I translated as baby girl, and one of the audience said, "Oh, nun placed the man icon after it to make it a baby boy." But it turns out that Chinese have the opposite gender, replacing the unmarried girl image in the middle, 女, with 子. This is, baby image in general. And I guess the Chinese tend to, just like English, tend to refer both genders with one gender. I mean, we have to, right? In some situations, humans have to, just like a man, sometimes it means human. It means both genders in some occasions. The 子, even if in the equivalent of replacing the 女 with 子 to make it a baby boy character, that 子 eventually extend into its boy nature into both genders, because basically there's no gender descriptor over there. It's simply a big-headed baby reach both hands up to try to pick me up, right? So this 子 in the middle would be baby boy. But thank you for expand the teaching material, because that's, yes, another boxy Chinese. And this baby girl, simply because I guess we can regard this as child-proof environment, so that the baby-sized girl or boy can be placed in the middle safely. So that's how Chinese create this. And it's a dialect. It's not a national tongue. Like I grew up in northern China. I never used it in my life. So I just learned it here. And this is the original rendering. And you can see the frame was not even a rectangle. Apparently, rectangularization was a later happening. Try to find of all the geometries that something that can provide the same concept of enclosure, a framework, but at the same time, it's simple enough, right? So this one is like a hexagon. It's like too much. It's hard to render. So I think a box is, now think about it, that's the end result. And we can reverse engineer and think that is a logic evolution of the language. So the middle nu was kind of expanded so that the I is easier to pick up what's like compared with the original, right? This one is more give you the sense of baby girl, very obedient, is sitting on the knees. I read it somewhere that ancient Chinese, before the invention of chairs, it's sitting on heels was natural posture. When people sit, they sit on their heels. It's not like they were it's not like we have to attach to a bunch of meanings of the posture. It's not like they are submissive, obedient, kind of showing that connotation. It could be just a neutral sitting there, not running around, and well-behaved with the hands folded in front. So that's behavioral depiction of women. Here, this jail, Ling, the middle character pronounced as a Ling. And so this carry over the sound but change with the tone. And this Ling got another kneeling figure in the middle. So this was the original profile view with the head. So this is the neck, the head facing toward the left, and this is the body, the torso, and the bended thigh, calves, heel. So this is a kneeling figure. And as I said, it could be just a neutral thing about the sitting posture in the past that we didn't have any chairs invented at the time. Then the top triangle means it's a gathering. So gathering of submissive people. I mean, kind of inserting it. I could be totally wrong. Okay, means this is a person that's receiving the order, because now the whole thing, this Ling means order. And people who receive the order, I know that because we have another similar looking, different opposing meaning. That's me. That's somebody giving the order. So this is on the receiving end. Receiving end to put yourself into the box. So that's jail. And this kneeling posture, again, is twist and turn. It's too hard to render. And so somebody just add a dot, kind of a different direction to give you a quick change of direction, to give you that sense, but easy to write. Okay, 从 chimney simply is a depiction of how the cross-section view of a chimney from a bird's eye view, looking down the entrance of the chimney, so that air can pass, but birds cannot. So this simply is the grid line on to filter out wild animals over there. And so this chimney eventually got rectangularized, and then the middle part of this two diagonal line with one, so it's like a 2x on one axle, all right? Two strokes on one axle, double X. Thing was kind of a standoff on its own. It's like the application of that structure was so limited that if it's just one-off thing, it seems like a waste. So somebody replaced that with a similar looking but completely different meaning here in the middle. I mean, it came from the crescent moon shape. So it's tied with evening or twilight moment in the day. It's nothing to do with the Great Line, but it looks light. So that's kind of a surprise to me. 古 in the middle, and then with a box frame become 古, and that means solid. Here we have 古, the concept of ancient. That's defined by 10 generations, about 200 years. And that time gave the sense of something stand the challenge of time if it lasts if this thing doesn't disappear, but still stay here for over 200 years, then it's a proof that it's solid because it stands the test of time. And here we have this mouse symbol, originally a cook pot, get rid of the handle and then kind of standardize it, give you the sense of a stroke at the end to have a little bit of extra over there to give you the visual hook to know, oh, this is the box, the mouse symbol. Okay, the last one is nation, which came from this defensible place with the weaponry over there. So military action involved. I guess military is of today's term, but in the past it was simply, warfare or, simply fight for your turf. And then this is the population, and the bottom horizontal line is the ground, to fight for your ground by this group of people. So it's a kind of a clearly defined, I guess, people who share the same goal and came from the same neighborhood or tribe, or however you want to expand the region. And then it's defending their location, their right to their land, and then box that up, be the nation character. In contemporary Chinese, the whole thing swapped out because it's too complicated. So then we have this jade symbol in the middle, I guess, as a callback to ancient time. We used to represent the power, the top power of the country with a seal that's probably carved in jade. So jade was kind of a national treasure back then. Depends on what kind of jade, right? So there is a dramatic price difference in a jade market. So there we go, the whole slew of this week's boxy characters. We have Tun, Nan, Ling, Cong, Gu, Bo. And all of them, you can see they got simplified, streamlined, or change a curvature here by a hook, by a dot there, or swap out the whole thing in the middle. So this is a swap out the whole thing. Or expanded, reframe it so it's easier to write and easier to read. There we go. Hoard, from Hoard, Tun to nation. Guo. Thank you for your time. See you next time.